Tiffany Stratton reveals the hardest aspect of WWE main roster transition. WWE star Tiffany Stratton has talked about the major challenges she has faced since her move to the main roster. After achieving almost everything she could on WWE NXT, Stratton made her main roster debut at the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble match, where she made it to the Final Four, and even scored an elimination on current NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez. She permanently moved to the main roster in the weeks after the Royal Rumble, where she has since found a home on the SmackDown brand. During a recent interview with TV Insider, Stratton revealed the biggest challenge she has faced since moving to the blue brand. "I would definitely say travel would be the number one, craziest, hardest thing to adapt to," Stratton said. "You're traveling every week, twice or more a week. In NXT, I would travel maybe every couple of months. I would say travel is the hardest part of everything." Stratton revealed that out of all of the women on the WWE roster, she has become close with Nia Jax, who has helped her adjust to the hectic main roster schedule, as well as helping her make some fun TikToks. The former NXT Women's Champion said having people like Jax in her life has been helpful, especially during her recent trip to Perth for the Elimination Chamber event. "Perth was my big plea, so it was nice to have someone there to guide me along the way. Like, this is where you go, this is what you do. We had a 20-hour plane ride together, so it was nice to have someone to talk to," said Stratton. WWE reportedly considers recent promos the end of the PG era. The divisive PG era may finally be at an end. Over the past few months, there have been noticeable deviations from the previous softer approach to weekly TV. Both Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes have shed blood in segments, and the expletives picked up on the road to WrestleMania, especially during the Rock's segments. Dave Meltzer wrote during this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter that such segments involving Rock, as well as Paul Heyman, are being spoken of as the end of the PG era. He adds that there has been no flat decision made on whether the company as a whole is heading in that direction, but he speculated that a decision will be made at the end of the year when WWE Raw goes to Netflix and WWE NXT to the CW. That is a decision that will largely come down to the stance the broadcasters and subsequent sponsors take on the matter. However, Meltzer concludes that outside of TV, and in terms of the bigger picture, there is much less emphasis on keeping things PG. WWE first introduced its PG product in 2008 as a swift departure from the edgy tone fans were familiar with during the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression eras. The decision, while divisive in its translation to programming, was made to attract a wider general audience and thus more lucrative sponsors. And while the argument is often made that it preceded a downward curve in programming quality, there is more than enough merit to the counterpoint from a fiscal standpoint.